I knew this was going to happen. That was making a funny noise. It's great when the wholesalers buy stuff off you. It's going to start raining now, of course. A little bit frustrating. Does smell a bit of Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Artisan Electrics. Interesting little day for you today. So we're back here at the Anderson install that Corey and Ruben did. You probably remember the video where we had a little bit of a problem because we didn't know that they'd removed the hardwired network socket from the Andersons, so we couldn't connect it to the internet. So I'm here today installing one of these. This is a Ubiquiti Wi-Fi extender. So that's one thing that I'm doing today, but it's a day of many facets, shall we say. I'm going to be driving all over the place today, doing little bits and pieces, and you're going to follow me and I'll take you with me, show you what I'm up to. I've got a few repairs to do on charge points today, so we'll talk about that because we're having a few little issues with the Zappi charge points. So I'll show you how to repair some Zappis today because we've got a few repairs to do. We're going to be going to a HMO. You might remember that place. It's where I did the interview with Oscar. I called it the House from Hell. So we'll take you there and show you all the other stuff in between. Hopefully it'll be an enjoyable video for you guys. So if you enjoy our videos, as always, don't forget to hit a thumbs up button. It really helps the channel to grow. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get into it. So this is designed for outside. They're really good, these. It's the Unify Access Point Pro. It's power over Ethernet, so we're going to install a power over Ethernet switch to send the power over the data cable so that we don't need to put a 13 amp socket to plug this into. Corey's already terminated this data cable, so it's kind of ready to go. So all we've got to do is mount the access point on the wall here, and then at the other end we just need to patch it into the router. Probably need to put a surge protection device on this because this cable is obviously going outside. Somebody mentioned to me in the comments, oh, you should put a surge protection device on any data cables that are going underground. So I've ordered one, but of course it's not arrived yet. It's going to be arriving to my house today, so I'll probably have to pop back and do that. But at least we can get this working, and it means that he's got signal out here. That's the main thing. I've never actually done one of these before, so you're going to just see me figure it out as I go along. Basically what I'm going to do is look at the instructions. I know that there's this whole thing about blokes don't read instructions, but actually in some cases it's really important to read the instructions, like with the Anderson charge point, because if we'd have checked the latest instructions we would have known that they'd removed the RJ45 port, although to be fair, it does still show it in the picture on the instruction manual, which is a bit annoying, but they've just removed the little thing that says hardwired data connectivity and they just mention Wi-Fi in the instructions, that's all. It does annoy me a little bit when manufacturers change their products and they don't tell installers. Somebody also told me that Anderson have removed the Type A RCD function from this now, which means that technically, although it's got an electronic RCD in it, it's not fully compliant, and so you're supposed to put upstream a Type A RCD. And again, this is a massive change that they've not told us about. We are Anderson approved installers. Why couldn't they just send out a little email to say, hey, by the way, we've just changed this, just be careful when you're installing it? No, all they do is just sneakily make a tiny little change to the instruction manual and then expect you to, because we've all got way too much time on our hands, read the manual from cover to cover every time before you do an installation. Come on, get real, that's not going to happen. Yeah, a little bit of a rant there, but it's just a bit frustrating. So what was I talking about before I started ranting? Let's read the instructions. So the nice thing about this, it's got QR code on the box, quick start guide. Okay, so straight away I found out that this is not for outside mounting. This is a ceiling backing plate, so we can get rid of that. But we do need this mounting bracket. On the back of here, it's got this little rubber seal thing, so hence why it's designed for outside. And then you've got your two Ethernet ports, so you've got an in and an out, so main and secondary, which is quite cool. And then you've got a little USB connection there as well. The only thing I've got to figure out is what to do with this excess cable. Corey's already glanded it. I don't know, I'll check in the van, maybe I've got a whisker box. We'll see, I'll figure it out. This is still a slight challenge at the moment, is tools, because I've got the new van, so I'm working out of the new van today, which is really exciting. But I still don't have all my kit in there because most of my kit just went in Corey's van when he started working for me. It's a bit of a mess actually, but we're designing the racking at the moment and it's going to be absolutely awesome. And it's going to be designed as like a perfect EV charging installer setup. It's going to be quite minimalist, no wasted space, and the idea is to be able to just keep it really neat all the time so that it's really efficient to work out of it. We've got the sign writing designed as well now, which is really cool. Going to have a couple of pipe tubes on the roof as well, might get those wrapped. So yeah, the plan is coming together. Now we just need to get the new electricians on board. Anyway, let me check if I've got a whisker box. Yes! Look what I found in the back of the van. We're on a winner today. I've been quarantining for the last 6 days. Yesterday was my first day out. I came back from holiday in Sicily, so I had to do the whole test to release thing. And it was fine because I was busy in the office just catching up. It just meant that I've not been out, I've not done anything outside, I've not even had the chance to sort of sort the van out. So what we're gonna do is terminate this into there, and then we can go straight through with that so that it will be all sealed, the armouring will be protected from the weather, and it will look neat, and then that will go straight up into the bottom of this PoE switch. So I just had a moment of panic because I suddenly thought, I don't know if the plug is going to fit through the gland, and I just managed to get it through this bit, but I don't know if it's going to fit through this. Oh, it's just, let me see. Just, come on. Oh, that's really tight, but yes, oh, fantastic. Oh no. Oh, that is ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna have to, they've changed. You used to be able to do these either way, so I've not checked which knockouts I'm using, but I can't put it like that, I have to put it like that. Right, that'll go like that, and then that will go something like that. And that'll be fairly neat. So that's it, this end done. That was really easy to mount actually. Just plug in, screw to the wall and go. So we're going to jump to the other end now. We've got a power over Ethernet switch to put in. It should just be plug and play hopefully, but I'll take you over there and show you. Welcome to another episode of Small Cupboard Electricians. Underneath here is the data cable that comes in from the charge point location there where we've put our power over Ethernet Wi-Fi extender. Corey's terminated it into an RJ45 like Cat 5e socket at this end. So all we need to do is take a patch cable from that into this 8-port gigabit power over Ethernet switch. So I'm going to get this open, and then obviously we'll take the internet feed from the router into here, and then this will put power and inject it into our cable so that we've got power over Ethernet outside. Now I know somebody in the comments is going to say, why are you wearing a mask? We don't need to wear masks anymore. But the thing is, guys, is that it really depends on your customers. You need to ask your customers before you go in their houses, do they want you to wear a mask or not? Because some customers would still prefer that you do. In this case, our customer prefers that we wear masks, which is absolutely fine. You know, do what's safe, guys. Stay safe. So we've got a power and then 8 ports. The first 4 are power over Ethernet, so we can plug our incoming internet into number 1 and then our outgoing to the charge point into number 2. What I might do with this is actually fix it to the wall, because you've got these little screw holes here. Right, so that is powered on, plugged in, ready to go. So that should be it. All we've got to do now is go over there and check that the customer can get connected from that access point. So we're done here. It took a little bit of figuring out to do the programming of the Ubiquiti thing. Job done. They've got super strong Wi-Fi signal here now, absolutely blisteringly fast for the Artisan and the Tesla over-the-air updates, so it's awesome. Customers happy. Now we're heading back into Cambridge. We're going to that HMO, so maybe we'll show you a little bit of stuff over there. I've got to go to the wholesalers to drop some materials back off, so it's a little bit of a all over the place day. So we'll head to the next location. Right, so we're on the road in the new van. I'm absolutely loving this little van. I keep discovering new things about it as well. Like I just noticed in between the two seats here, there's a 13 amp socket. So if you've got like a laptop that you want to plug in and charge or something like that, you can use that, which is great. Anyway, we're heading into town, into Cambridge. Got a few stops to do. So our office is on Hills Road. We receive all our deliveries there and stuff. And I've got a video coming up. It's a sponsored video for a smart burglar alarm system. I've got to go and collect the alarm system that's been delivered. And across the road from there, I've got to drop off my day 8 test, part of the whole testing thing when you come back from abroad. Then we've got to go to the unit. Then we've got 3 charge point repairs to do now. See you at the next stop. We have arrived at the wholesalers. What's that? Oh, it's saying that I'm too close to the wall. I've got a load of stuff in the back of the van from that massive solar array job. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a link up here somewhere. Epic video. But we got like Paxilin and a bus bar chamber and all this stuff that we didn't actually need. So it's in the van now and I don't want it to get damaged. I just want to give it back to the wholesalers before it gets scratched and stuff. Right, I'm coming to be the bane of your life, Mark. I'm doing returns today, I'm afraid. All part of the life of an electrician. Right, a lovely sheet of Paxilin there for you. How about that? Brand new, unused. Now, what have we got here? Oh, that's from, I totally forgot about that. See, this is why I need to empty stuff out of my van. Here we go, bus bar chamber. Okay. Yeah, where did the rest of the box go? Do you reckon that's returnable? It's completely unscratched and everything. And it's perfectly usable. It's just it happens to be part of the box missing. That's an expensive bus bar chamber, so I definitely want to be able to return it. Yeah, we'll probably keep it here. We'll need it for another job in a few months. We had to. Right, okay. We had to buy a second. That's not returnable anymore. You break it, you buy it. Okay, good stuff. I'm just glad that my van is slightly emptier now. That was my main objective. It's been a pleasure as always doing business with you. I'm really glad. It's great when the wholesalers buy stuff off you. That's really nice. When the wholesaler gives you money, it's a win. It's a winning day when that happens. So just on the phone to Erica, and she is helping us with our grant paperwork because my stupid lack of organisation. I've been so busy that I basically put off completing the grant applications for the last year, and I found out that we were owed 10 grand in grant applications, and I was like, I need to get this sorted because they dated back to like August last year, so it's nearly a whole year. Erica, she's like a PA kind of person that I know. I've just asked her to blitz it and get everything up to date, and she's just about up to date now, and I'm really glad because they've just announced that 1st of August they won't allow any historical applications to be processed anymore. You have to process the application within 30 days of the job being done. So I'm like, whew, because if I hadn't have sorted it all out in the last few weeks, I would have lost 10 grand basically. My final COVID test is dropped off. We're just literally the other side of the road from the office. So we've just been to the office to grab the alarm system that we were picking up, but I've got a letter as well. And I think it's probably from a follower because it's in handwriting. But I think it's probably stickers from one of our followers. Hey, there we go. OG Engineering. There's a shout out for you. Thank you for the stickers, OG Engineering. And I have a huge envelope full of stickers. When we get a unit, I'm gonna have like a a video studio in there with a backboard with all the stickers on. So they're being carefully stored and saved up at the moment for when that happens. So we're back at the unit. It's been a while since I've been here, so we'll see what kind of a state Corey's left it in, because he was the last one to be here. Ah, not bad. Not bad at all. In this box, this is what we're here to collect. We've got a box of goodies here. This is what we're here for. So this is all the MK goodies that we're going to be trying out at this HMO. And there are some special features in these products that make them especially suitable for a HMO. So we'll head over there now. So we're here at the house from hell. Does this place look familiar to you? That's because I filmed quite a few videos here over the last year and a half. Believe it or not, we've been working on this project since before COVID. Still a fair way to go, but I'll take you inside and show you where we're at today. So last time I showed you guys here, I think, was when I was with Oscar and we did the apprentice tools video. Since then, we have painting has happened, which is really good. So we're kind of ready for second fix in some of the rooms, which is why we're here, because we're going to be doing a second fix video showing off some very interesting sockets. That'll be another video, so I'll leave a link up here somewhere for that or in the description. Oh, by the way, HMO stands for House of Multiple Occupation, so it's basically like a student accommodation type thing where different people rent different rooms. They made a bit of a mistake at the start of this project, which is to not rewire it. The scope of the project has changed over the months. It started with just want to do the bare minimum. Don't rewire, just add this here, add that there, and of course it grows and it scales up to an 8-bedroom HMO, and we find that a lot of the wiring is pretty bad. It's too late to rewire the property now, so we just had to make good with what we could. So the main room where we're going to be working in today is in the kitchen, so let me show you in there. Welcome to the kitchen. You can see we've put downlights in here. They've been spray painting everywhere, so it's quite cool. What they do is they just tape everything up and then they literally just and they spray everything, and it's super quick and you get a really nice paint finish. So it is good, but you know, they have to be careful to tape up all the electrical accessories obviously. So they've taped around our downlights. The second fixing is also ready here in the kitchen, so that's what I'm going to be doing now. Changing over some of these sockets and switches. So we are done at the house from hell and we are back on the road, and now we're going to an electric vehicle charging point repair, which just got called in actually. It's that Rolec one that I mentioned earlier. We are literally 1 minute away, so it's quite handy. I'm going to just nip in there and have a look at it and see what the problem is. Hello, and you're joining us live from our first electric vehicle charging repair job of the day. It's a Rolec unit. It's one of the first charging points that I installed probably 2 years ago, and at the time I was installing Rolec. Obviously I don't really do those anymore. I thought it was going to be something simple like the RCD tripped or something like that, but it's not. The RCD is working, the blue light is on, which is what it's supposed to be to say it's ready, but when you plug it into the vehicle just doesn't start charging. The customer has confirmed that the vehicle is charging okay from the normal 3-pin charger, so it doesn't seem to be an issue with the vehicle, it seems to be an issue with the charging point. Unfortunately, I don't have my Referral EVSE tester today because Corey's got one and Andy's got the other one. So we can't just plug that in and do a simulation, which is really annoying. But we're just going to do what we can, make the best of it. I'm just going to first of all take the cover off. I hate these because the screws, they just all fall out. They don't hold in. So first impressions are a little bit of a smell. Oh, that's a little bit dodge. You see that? The neutral's kind of like snapped off slightly. But I mean, it is still connected, so that wouldn't necessarily be what's causing it to not work. The Electricians use all your sensors. Sense of smell is an important one. If you smell like a fishy smell or a kind of charcoaly smell, that is a classic sign of electrical burning. In this case, the Rolec units have a fault, which is that the RCD's trip. That's what happens quite often. So it could be that that's what's happening. What I'm going to do is do a few checks, like if I plug this in and activate the contactor, because it could just be the contactor is a bit dodgy, or it could be a problem with this mode 3 controller. So I'm going to isolate the circuit of the consumer unit and just check out that main switch first. Right, so I turned it off at the board. I re-terminated the neutral in here because that was a little bit dodgy, so that's sorted, but that's obviously not the actual problem. The problem, it seems to be some kind of communication issue. You know, the power itself is here, it's working fine. It's just not like telling the vehicle, or the vehicle's not telling the charger to activate the contactor. This core here is vital. This is the communications protocol core, which is called CP. And it goes onto the pin in the tethered unit, which does the communications. If I show you. So in the plug here, you have these two pins, CP and PP, and they are communication and pilot. In this one, I think only one of them is actually used, and it just basically, from the car, it tells the charge point to activate the contactor, send power through, and give it a charge. So that is the first port of call that I would check. But that CP wire is connected in okay, which says to me that it's probably this unit. We're going to have to probably get the charge point tester and come back on this one, unfortunately. And in the meantime, they have to charge up with their granny lead. If I had my Tesla, then I could have just plugged it into that and see if that worked. There are some advantages to working out of a Tesla, you know. It's getting hot and sweaty now, so we are on to our next appointment. We're heading 10 minutes away to the other side of Cambridge. So let me talk to you about that one that we just done. A little bit tricky there. A bit annoying, first of all, that I didn't have my tester. A bit silly really, because I'm doing like 3 electric vehicle charging point repairs today, so I should have it on the van. That's a slap on the wrist for me really. I just need to buy myself one now. So what's going to happen inevitably is I'm going to have to go back there and test it with the Referral to see if it actually works with Referral or not. The other option, I could just go and drive my Tesla around there and try and plug it into that and see if that works. If it doesn't, then it's clearly something with the communication device, the Mode 3 controller. So then I'm going to have to phone Rolec and see if they can get me out a new one. I have a feeling that it's probably just out of warranty, because that's the typical thing that happens with these kind of situations. And now we've got 2 Zappis to repair, so let's tell you about that. So, Zappi repair number 1 is this. We installed this. Cameraman trips over the drill that I left as a little trap for him on the floor. That's always a good trick to nearly kill your cameraman while he's walking backwards. Where were we? We fitted this Zappi like 4 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and we have a flap problem already, which is a common production problem by Zappi. One of several that are going on at the moment, which is really doing my head in. So this is the crappy flappy Zappi problem. Basically the springs kind of pop out, and then the flap, it should stay closed like that normally, but it doesn't, so it just hangs open. Not really a major issue, it's just kind of an aesthetic thing, but it shouldn't do it at the end of the day. And we're supplying what we sell to our customers as a high quality product. The Zappi, which we've fitted lots of them and we rely on them, and they have been good, but we're starting to get a few problems with them, which is slightly frustrating. So what My Energy do, which is good, is that if there is an issue like this, you create a support ticket by either phoning them or emailing them. If they can't fix it themselves by like software, then they will pay your installer to come back and repair it. So they're paying us now to come back and repair this, to replace this flap. They've sent us a replacement flap. They pay us, I think it's £75 plus VAT, so like £90 in total, which helps. It's a nice gesture, but it's still like, it doesn't really cover my time. Like, I charge £96 an hour, so it's not even covering my normal hourly rate for coming out here. And what if it takes more than an hour? What if it takes me 2 hours to get there, like one of these jobs in London that we've been doing, so a little bit frustrating. And My Energy, you need to up your game, because you're going to lose business otherwise if it keeps going like this, unfortunately. This is my replacement flap. It's going to start raining now, of course, so we'll see how long it takes me to do it. What happens is this plug here goes on there, and then that goes on the other side and just slots in, and they bolt together. So it's actually super easy. You just undo these 4 nuts, the old flap comes off, and then the new flap goes on. Just slots in like that. Then that one the plug slots in there, and then you've just got to make sure you get the washers and stuff right. So I think it goes like normal washer and then spring washer, yeah, and then a nut. So this fault is not too bad. So things like this are not the only issue that Zappi and My Energy have got at the moment. They've got massive production issues as well. So they've been over-promising and under-delivering when it comes to actually sending out charging points, because they just can't manufacture them quick enough. I don't know whether they've had production issues on the line because of moving factory, or you know, the chip shortage has obviously affected a lot of people. So, you know, there's various reasons why that might be the case, but it's just very frustrating when you've got jobs booked in and then you have to cancel them because you can't get the charge point in time. And then when you start getting caught back doing repairs on them as well, you kind of start worrying whether you've been fitting the right product or whether you should start looking elsewhere. We have been forced to look elsewhere because of all the issues, because we can't get hold of Zappis anyway, and I like to try different charge points anyway, so we've been recommending the Hypervolt now as our go-to charger. They offer a 5-year warranty, which is really nice. You do pay a little bit extra for it, but it's worth it in my opinion. And I understand that sometimes products go wrong, you know, issues happen, but the percentage of failures that we're having is a lot higher than I would expect from any manufacturer. I've not worked it out exactly, I need to do the figures, but for me it feels like at least sort of 10% of the charge points that we've installed have had issues, whether it be the flaps or the locking solenoids with the untethered units. We've had problems with the locking solenoids as well. That's why we always just recommend the tethered ones, because it's one less mechanical part to go wrong. And the next one you'll see is the whole circuit board needs replacing, so that's going to be fun. Anyway, that was fairly painless. I'm going to just turn this back on now, make sure it all works okay, and we should be good to go. So now we're actually revisiting the second job that Nathan ever filmed on. We are here and it's another Zappi, and this is the second time we're being called out to this place. The first time I had to replace the whole Zappi because for whatever reason it was faulty. Now he's having problems again. So I'm back. My Energy have sent a new circuit board, I believe, and I'm going to be replacing that. Let's see how that goes. So we're back at 64 Zoo Lane, if any of you guys remember that job. Second time replacing this. First time we had to replace the whole thing. The issue was when it went below 0, the comms dropped out for some reason, and apparently it was a problem with the Wi-Fi board on it. They just sent out a whole new charger, we swapped it over, problem solved. Until recently, they've been charging and it comes up with an RCD type A tripping thing, when obviously it's not really got a reason to trip. So that is a problem with the RCD board inside. So again, you know, he's gone through it with My Energy technical help on the phone and stuff. They've diagnosed the problem, they sent out a part to him. We have the parts and it's quite small. I was expecting a bigger thing than this, but this is the replacement parts that we're installing. So there's this tiny little circuit board and this little CT clamp, which basically are the parts that make up the internal Type A RCD, which is quite surprising. Power's isolated. I'm going to get the cover off and swap that out. So it looks like it's this, and this is our replacement. So side by side you can see our one's got version 1.56 on it. That one is obviously version 1.4. I think all we need to do is pull this out. That's easy. And then we pop this new one in. Like that. We've got the CT here, so that's obviously that CT, which we can unplug. Power's back on. That was making a funny noise, and now the screen's gone completely blank. So. That's funny, why didn't they do that the first time? Oh, that's not looking good at all. Uh-oh. Okay, it's a bit stuck. Okay, let's turn it off and have another look. I knew this was going to happen. As soon as I was putting the cover back on, I was thinking, this was too easy. Right, so as soon as I took the cover off, I could smell burning, which is not a good sign. Electrician sense. His number one sense is his nose. Not just for sniffing out Pringles, but also for finding electrical faults. So I don't know why, but for some reason, something is awry here. So that circuit board is boiling hot, which is not good. Everything looks okay, but it's hot. Ay, ay, ay. I think we're gonna have to call my energy technical again. Can you sense the frustration in my voice? I know I'm not very expressive, but if you could see the writhing inside of me, if you could feel what I'm feeling right now, it's very frustrating. Come on, my energy. Let's see how long they take to answer the phone.
Please press 1 for sales, 2 for technical support.
I should know. I should have it memorised now.
How can I help you?
So I'm out here trying to repair this Zappi for a customer. You guys have sent him a replacement RCD chip. Cheers. Bye. That was quite impressive call answering today, 4.5 minutes. Usually it takes more than half an hour, so hats off to them for that. The answer was, oh, we'll have to send you out a whole new Zappi then. Back to square one, unfortunately. Anyway, that's a little insight into a day in the life of an electric vehicle charging repairman. And I hope this video has been entertaining, educational, informative, whatever you watch our videos for. I know some people just purely for the entertainment value. Others love learning new things, and hopefully we try and teach you something new or show you an insight into something that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And if you do appreciate what we do, it really helps if you hit a thumbs up on our videos. If you share them out with other people, that really helps as well. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do, that really helps us too. Just helps the channel to grow and give you our support. So we appreciate all of you for watching. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.